Good morning, students. Sairam. Welcome you all in our next session of online classes. Students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine and also start learning your previous chapters. So, students, we have completed 7 chapters in our first book, which is Principles and Function of Management. So, this is the last chapter of your first part, means your first book. This is controlling. So, students, as we have studied in our first chapter, there are 5 functions of management, which are number 1 is planning, second organizing, third staffing, fourth directing, and the last one is controlling. As I said earlier, planning means to plan everything, means plan everything or setting standard for doing any task. And what is the meaning of controlling? Controlling means not to control anybody. Controlling means to monitor, to check, to evaluate whether the standards which we have already fixed is achieved or not. So what is this? This is controlling. So let's start our chapter. Look, students, that like in that picture, two employees are doing their task, and their heads monitoring them, watch them, and then control them. Control means to um, give them a feedback whether they are doing their task in a same manner that which have already fixed in our planning or not. Means all the works are done or should be done in that manner only or not, means according to the plan. So what is the meaning of controlling? Controlling is determined what is being accomplished, to evaluate performance, to apply corrective measures, check if the employees are the following the rules, monitor their performance, and if there is any fault, correct it. Means, what is the meaning of controlling? Controlling means to determine that what is being accomplished, means to evaluate their performance, and if they find any deviation, any error, so what the management or a leader or a manager do, they apply the corrective measures to correct their error. Let's take an example to understand this. Like, if the company has planned that their monthly output is 250 units, to produce 250 units, but after the end of the month, what the manager check, that the standard which they have already fixed according to the plan, the 250 units we have to produce, but only 200 units are produced. So what is the difference between them? We have fixed the standard which we have fixed is 250 units, and what we get, only 200. What we produce, only 200 units. So what is the difference between that? Means 50 units are less. So this 50 unit, what is this? What is that 50 unit? 50 unit is their error, which they have to correct, means their deviation. Error is also known as deviation. Means 50 units are their deviation. So what the manager do? Manager correct them by taking corrective actions, like to add more employees to do that particular work so that they increase their production, or what the manager do, they help or they guide, or he train them that how to do in a efficient manner so that they achieve their goal. Okay, so this is the meaning of controlling. I repeat again, controlling means not to control anything. Okay, controlling means to check whether it is the actual work is just like that the which we have decided in the planning or not. Okay, so student, what is the relationship between planning and controlling? Means how they are interdependent. Students, in planning we have decided that what to produce and how to produce, what are our standards which we have to produce. Okay, so what the controlling do? Controlling see that the particular standard and then work according to that. But if he if the manager, the controller, see that the standard which we have already fixed in the according to the plan, but our actual performance, the actual standard are not same, then what he do? He take the corrective action to correct them. So we can say that controlling is incomplete without planning, so they are interrelated. Like in a planning, it identify the commitments to action. Means what the planning give to the controlling? Commitment. Okay, what the employees, what the management do to accomplish a plan. And what the controlling do? It ensures that the commitments are carried out. Okay, so the planning means the performance of the employee should be lead to the organization objective, and what the controlling do? Make sure that the plans are carried out. Okay, students, so I hope you all have understand. Now, what are the features of controlling? Students, there are 7 features of controlling. Like number 1 is positive force, second continuous process, third is forward looking, fourth is universal, fifth dynamic, sixth goal oriented, and seventh is key to control based on planning. So number 1 is positive force. Students, controlling is a positive force, means it is not a negative, because we will not control anybody. In controlling, what we do? We guide the employees. Whether if the controller, if the manager find out any mistake, any error, any deviation, then what he do? He guide them in a positive way. He train them, tell them how to do a work, how to correct their deviation. So what is this? This is a positive thing, so we can say that it is a positive force. Now next one is continuous process. Look students, all the functions of management are continuous because it continuously run. If one plan have achieved, if one objective which we have achieved, then we have to achieve the next one. So it is a continuous process. Next one is, it is a forward looking. Look student, controlling and planning both are forward and backward also. Both are what? Forward looking and backward looking. How? Let's start with planning. When we make plan, then we look backward, our last previous financial year, that what the mistakes we have done. Okay, what are the major corrective methods which we have to take, what the advanced technology, what we have to put in our plans, what are the other things which make our plan more successful. So what is this? This is a backward looking, because we saw the previous data, then we will make plan, and we make plan for see the future, means to achieve the target in future. So we can say that it is both backward looking and forward looking, same as in controlling. What is the process of controlling? Means how can we control? Means first we look back, what are our standard which we have already fixed in our planning. Then we will see what is our actual performance, and after seeing that, if we find out any difference or any deviation, then we have to correct it, and we will correct it for future. For future, for what? For achieving our future goal. So we can say that controlling is also backward looking and forward looking. Now next one is universal. Look student, controlling is universal, as it is a private organization, non-profit organization, profit organization, whether it is a hospital, colleges, at your home, it is applicable in all areas. Okay. Next one, it is dynamic. How can we say that it is a dynamic? Means when we see, when a manager, so a leader, director, anybody who direct uh, the the employees, if they see that there is any mistake, they make a quick actions to correct them. So we can say that it is a dynamic process. Okay. Next one is goal oriented. Why we do planning? We do planning to achieve our goal. Okay. So we can say that it is a goal oriented process. Uh, when we guide our employees that how to correct their deviation, how to do the actual performance, how to give the actual performance according to the standard which we have fixed in the planning. So why we do this? For achieving our goal. Now next one is key to control based on planning. Means it is a key to control, means it is a method or a key to how to achieve our goal according to the plan. Okay, I hope you all have understood. Now next one is importance of controlling. So students, there are 8 importance of controlling. Only 6 are enough for you. Okay, so let's start one by one. Number 1 is improving employee motivation. Second, ensuring order and discipline. Next one is facilitates coordination in action. Next, helps in improving the performance. Next, helps in minimizing the errors, helps in achieving organizational goal, judging of accuracy of standard, and last one is making efficient use of resources. Let's discuss all these points one by one. Okay. Now, number 1 is improving employees motivation. Controlling, what the controlling do? Controlling motivate employees, means they guide. It guides how to do a work. If they have done any mistake, if the goal is not achieved, if there is any difference in their actual performance and the standard performance, so how they can do it in a good positive manner, means how they can correct it in a positive manner. So we can say that it improves the motivation of employees. Next one is it ensures the order and discipline. Look students, if the work is checked, monitored by a controller, by a manager, okay, at the regular period of time, so that the order of work and the discipline is also running in a smooth way, means it ensures the order and discipline in their work. Next one is facilitates the coordination in action. Students, if they do their work in a smooth way by correcting their deviations, so the coordination between all the employees is also very smooth, means it also facilitates the coordination in their actions, because all their actions are monitored, checked and controlled by the manager in a regular period of time. Next one is helps in improving the performance. Students, controlling helps how to take how they take the corrective action and how they improve their actions, their performance So controlling is very important, very helpful to check their deviations, to check their errors, and learn how to improve it and how to correct it. So it also improve their efficiency, also improve their performance. Next one is helps in minimizing the error. If we do our work, okay, and in a small interval of time we have also check our deviations, so and minimize our deviations, so that it is very helpful, because controlling monitor all our deviation in a small period of time, so that we improve our correction deviations or errors in a quick way or in a smooth way. Next one is helps in achieving organizational goal. If the work is going in a smooth way, we achieve our target according to the standard which we have fixed. So it is very helpful in achieving organizational goal. Next one is judging of accuracy of standard. Controlling is the one and only one function of management which judge the accuracy of work, because controlling is what to judge, to monitor whether the standard which we have fixed is achieved or not, if there is any deviation or not. If he find out any deviation, means the manager find out any deviation, so how they correct it. Okay, so it judges the accuracy of standard, and also helpful in maintaining the um, accuracy in all working areas. Next one is making efficient use of resources. Look students, if there is no error, if there is no not any mistake, means so that the resources are also um, fully utilized by the employees, means if we do our work by correcting our mistakes, so that we make our resources very useful and very efficient. Okay, so all these are the importance of controlling. Now, what are the limitations of controlling? If there is a merits, then demerits are also there. So what are the limitations of controlling? The limitations of controlling are: number one, can't be defined in a quantitative term. Students, what the controlling do? Motivate the employees. So it is not in a quantitative, we can't measure it in a quantitative way. It is in a qualitative, means quality of product, quality of employees work, employees efficiency. So it measures that. So controlling cannot be defined in a quantitative term, because in controlling we check the quality of product, we check the target, whether we achieved or not. Okay, so if there is any problem to achieve our target, so that we take the corrective action. So it cannot be in a quantitative form, means we cannot define that in a quantitative terms. Next one is less control over external factors. Students, as we studied in our third chapter, there are the two type of forces which affect our business, like external and internal forces. Internal forces means which, if the forces within an organization which affect our work, which affect our organization, are economically, socially. So what the external forces which affect our environment, which affect our business from the outside, like government policies, if there is a change in any taxation policy, political, any political factor. So all these are the external forces. If and these forces also affect our business, but we have already planned what we have to do in a future, what will we have to do in a future. But if there any external force which affect our planning, so it also affect our controlling. So it is also a limitation of external limitation of controlling, because planning and controlling both are interrelated and interdependent, because we have already fixed the standard which we have to achieve, and our actual performance is also according to the standard which we have fixed. But if there is any external factor which affect our standard performance, so our actual performance is also affect due to this external force. So that we can say that external forces are also the limitation of controlling. Next one is objection from employees. If there is a more controlling, let's take an example. If the camera, if your if you know that your, like your parents watch you every time, and keep their eyes on you at every time, so that maybe you will feel very negative in that. So same as in employees, if they thought that they are continuously watched by the cameras, so or control by the manager, and point out by the manager at every single position of work, at every process of work, they so what they feel negative, and show their objection on that controlling. So that we can say that objection from employees is also the another limitation of controlling. Means if over controlling is there, so their objection is also, maybe their objection is also there due to the negative thinking. Okay, next one is very expensive to install. Look student, if any process which is too long, then their working hours are also long, employees are also there, they have to work for a long period of time, means there are many expenses which incurred in that process. So we can say that it is a very expensive process, because it is a very long process. Next one is over controlling might increase the alteration rate. Alteration rate means fluctuation in their work, means we have to correct the work in a very frequent way. So if there is a over controlling, and so it might increase their alteration rate in their work. So it is also another limitation of controlling. Now what is the process of controlling, means how we do controlling. First step is establishing of standard. Okay, first is establishing of standard, means to see what is the standard, and how we get standard from the planning, because who set standards? Planning set standards, that this is the way, that this is a way, and you have to do like that, what is this is our goal, and you have to achieve that. Okay, next one is like, let's take an example to understand all this process. Like in a standard, we have fixed that we have to produce 500 units in a month. Okay, so in a controlling process, what we do, first we see the standard, that what is the standard, means like we have to produce 500 units in a month, and who give this standard? Planning. In a planning, we decide that what to do. So after that, measuring actual performance. After that, we do work, and at that time we see, after the end of month, that what is the actual performance. But our actual performance is 400 unit. So what is this? There is a difference between the actual performance and the standard performance. So third one is comparison of actual performance with the standard. So what we do, we compare that what are the deviations, what are the errors which occur in that which occur due to which this difference is coming. So in third step, what we do, compare our actual performance with the standard performance and find out what is our error. Okay, means we will what we do, we analyze what is our deviations, and after that corrective action if necessary, if it is necessary. So in this point, after checking the after find out the deviation, after find out the errors, so what we do, we analyze our deviation, and after analyze, if we find if there is any deviation, so what we do, we correct this. How we correct? We take corrective actions to correct our deviation, and after that we give feedback to establishment. Feedback means feedback according to our work, to do our work according to this. So only 4 steps are there. Number 1 is establishment of standard, means first what we do, we have to set the standard. After setting a standard, what we do, we measure the actual performance, means whether our work is according to that or not. And after measuring the actual performance, what we do, we compare the actual performance with the standard performance and find out the deviation. And after find out the deviation, what we do, we analyze. After analyzing, what we do, we take the corrective actions to measure it. Okay, now first point is also there, corrective action if necessary, means to analyze the deviation. So there are 2 methods to analyze their deviation. First method is critical point method, and second one is management of exception. Means, let's take an example to understand this last point. First method of analyzing deviation is critical point method. Let's take an example. If we check our report that the rate of labor is increasing 5%, but we have fixed that the increasing rate is 2%. Okay, but the rate is increasing 5%, and the rate of postal charges is increasing 20%. So critical point means critical area, we have to focus on a critical area, means what is the key area which we have to take corrective action. Critical point method tell us that in a controlling, if we analyze any deviation, so in a corrective method, in a critical point method, what we do, we have to focus only to the critical point, only to the key point. Like if there is a 5% increasing the rate of charges of labor 5% and increasing the rate of postal charges 20%, which we have not in our range, okay, which we have fixed. So what we do, on what part we have to focus, postal charges or labor charges? On labor charges. But now there is a confusion. Many students thought that if the 20% is high and 5% is low, so why we focus on a 5%? Student, postal charges occur in a year or in a half yearly, means postal charges is occur or we have to pay in a year, means yearly payment we have to do. But if there is an increase in a labor rate, their charges, so it increases day by day or month by month. So which is more expensive, labor charges or postal charges? Means postal charges we have to pay in a year and labor charges we have to pay in a monthly. Okay, so what is our critical point? Labor charges. So we have to control that. So what is this? This is a corrective action which we have to take to reduce the labor rate. Now second method is management exception. Management exception means we have to fix the range. Like in that example, we have to fix that we fix that the labor rate should be 2%. Means that this is a range which we have fixed, and the postal charges is will be 15%. So we fixed that range, means 2% for management, 2% for labor charges, and 15% for postal charges. So this is the range. If the work, if the actual performance is within the range, then we do not need to take any corrective action because our standard and our actual is same. But if there is any difference, so what we do, we take corrective action. Means when it is over the range, then what we have over the management exception, then what we have to take corrective action. Okay, I hope you all have understand the process of controlling. Next one is relationship between planning and controlling. Look students, I have already taught this topic. Like planning and controlling are two separate functions of management, yet they are closely related. Without the basis of planning, controlling activity become baseless, and without controlling, planning become a meaningless exercise. In absence of controlling, no purpose can be served by. Therefore, planning and controlling is reinforce each other, which I already taught you that the planning and controlling are interrelated because planning gives the standard which they have to achieve, so that controlling, what the controlling do, see the standard, then see the actual performance, and if if there is any deviation or any error, so what the manager do or the employees do, they have to correct these deviation. Okay, so what is this? They are interrelated or interdependent to each other. So students, your chapter has been completed. I hope you all are doing well. Do your case studies also, okay, of every chapters, and also making notes. Okay students, Sai Ram.